Another hidden bias that I think you also must have faced is when we are voicing out our opinion. Yeah, jotting down the minutes of meeting
Oh
automatically
my
falls
god,
apart.
I thought that was happening only to me. First time somebody, I was like, why are they pointing at me? Like, what is there on my face that shows that, I have to write those minutes of the meeting? So, hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Dilse Talk with CM. And this is a Successful Women series, episode 4. Today we have Aishwarya Ramakrishnan. She has done electronics engineering from Kerala University, and then she has worked in software for 2+ years. Then did MBA in marketing from IMT Ghaziabad, and from there she has worked her way up, and now today she is chief manager in TVS Credit. So welcome Aishwarya to our show.
Thank you, Chandana. First of all, good evening, and thank you for having me on this show. I'm glad that you have brought this initiative and glad to be part of this whole thing.
Great. And I'm also very happy to have you. In fact, we have been knowing each other personally, and Aishwarya was my roommate in, IMT Ghaziabad. So there's a kind of bonding. We have grown together, and, we have a lot of timelines which are going together. So, Aishwarya, I think a lot of us women would like to know, especially that, from engineering then to software, and today you are in finance at a very good position and, a very good role. So, how has this journey been? Just take us through your journey.
So, not to perpetuate stereotypes, but if you were born and raised in the 90s in a middle class family in southern India, having a career in engineering or medicine would have been there at the top of your life goals. So, just like any other set of middle class parents, even mine, they drilled the importance of having that professional degree and that particular professional experience. So that's how, I got into engineering. I completed my electronics engineering with Kerala University um, in a seat that I secured with merit. Post that, like through campus placement, I got into Infosys. Even though the training schedule, everything was quite challenging and a learning experience. However, the actual job experience that I had at Infosys did not quite meet my expectations. So then that set me on a path of questioning what I need, what I want to do, etc. Having spoken with peers and people in my family who have actually tread the same path, I thought of giving CAT a chance. And then I got into IMT Ghaziabad, Marketing and Operations, PGTM. And yeah, I started off my work with with an MNC only. So I was handling strategic projects for a major investment bank. But due to certain personal reasons, I had to make a change of location and I had to move back to North India. And that's when I got my first brush with with the startup culture, the fintech. And from there on, my journey took me through, this product management, operations management, and right now the whole planning I'm overseeing for a major product for one of a reputed NBFCs in India.
Uh, Tell me something. So, did you enjoy engineering more, or do you miss engineering and maybe the software field, or this new field of product management and finances?
So, so I feel I am a kind of person, whichever experience that or whatever situation I'm put into, I try to take the learnings which suits me the most and which helps me get on to the path of what I want to do. So basically, when I was in engineering, I think, that set the right foundation for me to pursue a role in project management and planning. So because product management also requires you to understand technical nuances, build a bridge between tech and core business, right? We have to speak the language of both tech as well as business and bring them to a common point.
Mm-hmm.
Another common feature that I felt that engineers, have an advantage on is the data that we bring, the analysis that we bring onto the table. I'm saying everyone is good, like everyone coming from different stream are good in that. But I believe engineers have an edge because we are trained to think like that, problem solving with data. So I think that was another key aspect which helped me to, so yeah, I enjoyed being an engineer, but I think where I am right now, or that has been brought about because of the PGDM that I have pursued, and I should say that helped me much more, and therefore I enjoyed that much more.
Great, great. So, Aishwarya, I want to ask you, according to you, what is success, and do you feel that you are successful?
That's a very tricky and tough question, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, see, recently I read something on LinkedIn about planning. Every year we do a planning exercise for our business vertical, and we project for the next 5 years. This is what we are going to do. But on LinkedIn, I actually read that, that's like not a very productive exercise. Why? Because we are doing something basis a snapshot of the current situation, the information that we have about the current situation, which is changing every day. So
Hmm.
1 year from now, things would have changed a lot. So I think that applies to everything, like even success. 5 years back, my definition of success or what I wanted to be professionally and personally would have been completely different. But
True,
right now,
true.
where I am, here,
Hmm.
what success means to me professionally and personally is like, in my professional space, I want to be contributing meaningfully for the business to attain a specific, larger picture goal. So
Yeah.
for that, I need to be aligned to that, and I need to be up to speed. So it involves a lot of learning from my part also, taking takeaways that I get from being on the job. So the more I get to learn, the more I get to experience, and which puts me on the path of self actualization as far as my career is concerned. That is, as long as I'm on that path, I would consider myself successful. And in my personal space right now, um, I am just focusing on building quality relationships
True.
within the family also,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
re-examining the relationship that I had with my daughter, with my parents, with my close ones. And, you know, yeah, I'm redefining all that, and I feel that I'm on a path of rediscovery. And that is, again, that is the success that I feel defines my personal space.
Want to know how did
Right.
you manage the, how did you manage the work life balance, because you have a child who the parenting style, so you have to break it down for all of us because it's really tough. So how do you manage the office, and like how where did you, what kind of system did you create that you were able to manage it, without getting stressed?
Say that I never got stressed. I got stressed a lot. Um, see what see what I tried to do was, I did not reinvent the wheel. I tried to learn from the women who have gone
Yeah.
before me.
Mm.
So one example was my daughter, my mom. She was a working mom. She did not have the kind of the domestic help, the full-time help that we can afford to do right now.
Hmm, hmm,
So
hmm,
she used to take care of both all the household responsibilities as well as, like, the office responsibility. And I did take inspiration from her. Then another successful lady, like, who I have always looked up to was Mrs. Indra Nui.
yeah, yeah.
And in several of her interviews, she has always told that, a working woman cannot have it all. So first of all, I accepted that, I
True.
cannot be the perfect parent and the perfect worker, although both will be my priorities. I will need to break down at any point of time what needs more attention. So
Yeah,
I had to do a lot of on the fly decisions and juggle a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Now, in this process, what helped me was, creating structures around everything, as in for there will be key pickup, drops, everything that needs to happen. So I reached out to uh, the other parent community. I created support structures, uh, and then I had a full-time house help, a dependable house help.
yeah.
So I utilized all that. Plus, it did help that my family especially my mom used to come and stay and help me to set things in order.
Hmm.
And, once in a while when things get overwhelming, I
Hmm.
used to take a break, cry it out, wash my
Yeah.
face, and just come back and face it fresh.
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
We all do that. We
it
all do
happens.
that.
We have
Yeah.
to be.
We have to let it out. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, and keeping the lines of communication open,
Hmm.
that helps a lot with my daughter, setting the expectation, like, this is
Hmm.
what is possible, this is not possible, hearing her out. uh Always there might, I mean, growing up, she'll probably not consider me as the perfect parent, but I wanted her to know that with the available resources, I will do the best that I can for her always. And yeah, not only with her, with friends like, like you,
Yeah.
there were other women with whom I could and share my experiences and gain insights on how I can take it forward. Oftentimes many of our worries or fears are unfounded, and when you just bounce it off somebody else, you get that validation and you feel that you're on the right road.
Think the communication part which you told is so important because oftentimes we feel that it's a small kid, she's a small kid, she wouldn't understand or he wouldn't understand, so we often, trying to protect the child, we do not set the expectation right, and that is where all the expectation builds up and all the frustration comes in. So I think that was everything just made sense and will help us a lot of women to set the structures right. Now coming back to your profession, Ishwarya, so being a woman, even now, though we say a lot of women are there in the workforce, but then still the ratio of women to men is less. And then there's kind of, people talk about class ceiling or gender disparity. So did you feel this kind of bias towards you, and how did you fight it? And what should a woman do if faced with such maybe a kind of a bias for being a woman in workplace?
So yeah, so I did, like just like any other woman, I also faced um, all these, hidden biases. Like, you just can't put a finger on it, but it is there lurking around somewhere.
Mhm.
One of the main challenges that I faced was like I took a 1.5-year break while I
Mm.
had my kid from work. Returning back to work at that point of time,
Mm.
there I faced a lot of challenges. In the sense that I think you also, I think we have spoken about it also, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
uh, like the experience that we had prior to that suddenly holds no meaning.
No
They
meaning, yeah.
they want to
Mm.
leverage on the experience but not pay for it.
Exactly. Exactly. This is something I've seen time and again. I mean, like, this is, I think, a way to negotiate in the market. And, they
Mhm.
think that, and people know that, especially people who've taken a break, they're very high quality, women. They've had a good experience. So, but they know that this is a way that people can negotiate and probably get some, the salary reduced and all. So, I think these are the
Mhm.
tactics a lot of I have seen teams do. So you are right on that.
Mhm.
That, of course, even I have faced.
Yeah. So promotions, once I got back from my career break for promotions, I actually did not face issues, I would say,
Mm.
because so one thing that I have noticed is we have to be twice as tough as the men
Okay.
who are our peers in order
Mm.
to prove their equal.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
This is something that I kind of noticed, so so in my workplace, I tried not to give any sort of excuses that would be pertaining to my gender. And I tried to put in twice as much work as the others in order to, um, in order to prove that I'm dependable and I'm equally competent and efficient. Another hidden bias that I think you also must have faced is when we are voicing out our opinions or giving any
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. Mm.
so yeah, jotting down the minutes of meeting
Oh
automatically
my
falls
God.
apart.
I thought that was happening only to me. I
No, no,
actually, this
absolutely
happened.
not.
I was like, the first time somebody, I was like, why are they pointing at me? Like, I'm what is there on my face that shows that, I have to write the minutes of the meeting. So yeah, that happens. Hmm.
So sometimes we have to speak up with force. Sometimes we have to, go along with the flow and wait for the right moment to speak up. Once you have
Hmm.
built your credibility, you have to speak up. So it has been a combination of various methods that I have employed to get my voice heard at the table and matter at
Hmm.
the table. And yeah, like I said, half the job is, showing up at the table.
Very, very nice. Very nice. So, on the similar lines, Ishwarya, like, do you feel that especially in corporates or, workplaces, women do not help each other? I mean, especially what I faced was like when I was reaching out for jobs in between, you were only few of the women who actually, helped back. So, majority of the help generally came from men. So that was kind of a very bad ratio for me. And I realized that is it something that even if you have faced, or why do you think this is the case?
Uh,
Why not many people like you are helping other women, why? What is the root cause? What could be the reason?
so again, I feel that, that is kind of changing. I have faced that. But then again, it's that the lack of spaces where we are coming together, where we feel that, see, if you take even our, like, any of the meets, alum meets, or any other
Yeah.
professional meet that we go to, it's mostly the male to female ratio is very less.
Yes.
So
Correct.
we we're all working in the female professionals, I feel, are working in silos, and there aren't enough platforms for us right now, at least in Chennai, where we can come together and understand, what how much of a lever, like, how much this can help each other by
Yeah.
being advocates of each other, and
Yeah.
bringing a person up automatically uplifts ourselves. So yeah, this is where my previous pet project also comes into place, where I seek to create a network of women mentors, like, to whom we can be, or the next generation can reach out to
True.
for
True.
any
True.
sort of resource. Yeah, I think it is lacking right now, but I'm very optimistic and hopeful that it is changing.
So I
And yeah,
recently, read somewhere, and I think I'm talking to a lot of people from our age group. So, I read somewhere, that life is all about a 7 year cycle. So it seems from 35, a new 7 year cycle starts. And that is when people become a lot more, they discover a new part of themselves, sometimes spiritual, and they feel they actually, most of us actually realize what our purpose is. So has there been any sort of, self discovery or something like that?
what I have started realizing, like, once I turned or crossed 35, is that I want to also contribute back to the society, um, in terms of, and one area that I want to contribute towards is the girls' education.
Yeah.
So I had recently read in a Harvard study that, women or girls growing up till they reach the age of puberty, boys and girls have almost the same confidence level. Suddenly it drops once they cross that. So, having some sort of integrated, being part of creating and integrating certain educational content which would help at that stage, to boost and bring more and more women into the leadership position. So I feel I have to achieve something in the next 5 years so that I can start contributing towards that. But simultaneously, I'm starting to reach out to women in the community, especially in the finance sector. See, I don't see many women mentors, especially in Chennai, in a metro like Chennai. uh,
Mm.
I think I would like to see more and more women there, and I think that can be done through podcasts like what you are doing.
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah.
will be an excellent platform for that. Plus, us reaching out and somehow if we can create integrated content in the educational system, especially focusing on certain key areas for girls. And this is kind of like a pet project which I would like to work towards.
I'm sure you must have had ups and downs in your personal life and your professional life. So there are days when we really, can't get through. But there are some really motivational mantras or quotes that help us keep going. So are there, any mantras and quotes in your life that help you get through the day?
So I'm not a big believer of mantras and all those quotes that uh, I believe. I don't want to sound presumptuous, but I believe in creating my own mantra or quote that is for
Oh,
me. So what gets me going is daughter and seeing her happy smile, and the satisfaction that I derive from the work and the larger picture that I'm working towards. So right now these are the things that are getting me going. And on days when I'm really down, again, this is what a hug from my kid, or something that I remind myself, "Ki, I have achieved this. Ki, this too shall pass. This is something
yeah,
that I have
yeah,
faced in the past."
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I derive strength from that.
So, Aishwarya, this is such a small thing that you've told, but such a powerful thing you have told, because ultimately, the effect of mantras and quotes, maybe they last for maybe a day or maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, but the quality of relationships and those things that you're, grateful in your life, those are the things that keep you going. And absolutely, I think all of us, when we look at our children, our, parents, or maybe what is good in our life, that is what keeps us going. That, okay, one more day, and this is for them. And of course, you look at your past, and like, I have seen all those things and I've come out stronger. So, of course, if this doesn't work, at least I'm going to learn something, come out of it. So yeah, I think that is itself a mantra in its own. So do you, like, when I was young, I used to, learn certain scenarios. Whenever I used to learn something, I used to make some mantras in my head for my own reference. So did you ever make such mantras in your head? Like, this is my own mantra for me.
Like an example. Huh.
Like, what I've seen that, when I was in ICICI Bank, I saw that, a lot of powerful people, we had to deal with a lot of wealthy and powerful people. So I actually observed, these people responded to power. They would see what kind of value you bring on the table. So unless until you don't show that you are powerful, or you have some sort of a power, or, you can offer some sort of value, they would not respect you. So there are times when I had to create a scenario, maybe give some money to the peon, and give coax the customer service executive that you're going to show me some respect. This is how I'm going to crack the deal. And the peon at that time will come and ask me, ma'am, you want something, to create an environment where, people perceive that, okay, this girl must be very powerful. So in my
Hmm.
head, it was like, power attracts power. So if you want to attract the powerful guy
Okay.
to come, and you want to close that deal with that person, so you have to look powerful. So these kind of small mantras I used to create. So do you think any scenario in your life has taught you something? Okay, this is some learning from my life, and probably, yes, probably there's nothing similar in the market, or maybe we have heard in our lifetime, but this does make sense. Have you felt anything like that?
Yeah, see, I think around say 6, 7 years back, I also was very um, you know how I'm projecting myself, and am I good? See, I'm not very good at the gift of gab. I think I speak to the point, and I'm not a great storyteller, is what I have always thought
Okay.
of myself. So after one meeting that I remember in one of the previous organizations, after a meeting that we had with a very senior management, where I was asked to explain points, which I explained it in a particular way, uh, which was very dry, with data and stuff. And then my boss chipped in, and he was able to create a story out of it. So
Mm,
over
mm,
there, I felt that, I lacked that. And after the meeting, I went and told him, this storytelling, I don't think I'll be able to learn it ever. So then what he told me was, right now, what you are projecting, that integrity that you're bringing to the table, and the right attitude towards work and the hard work, that should be your brand. That should be your unique brand, and you should work towards that. And the rest of the things will kind of fall in place with experience. So I took that, and I have always tried to uh, make that as my brand image, like
Okay.
dependable person with integrity and who keeps a word. So maybe that was my mantra, maintain my brand, have a consistent set of values, and keep adding to it.
Yeah. So that means you have created a brand out of your authentic, strengths that you had. You just reinforced it, and you have been consistent with that. And so people, when they see you, they see, okay, Aishwarya is dependable. She's good with numbers. She analyzes data well. Nowadays, I see a lot of young people. Of course, I've seen a lot of us also. We are going through a lot of anxiety, and we've become overwhelmed. And uh, so I'm sure that at the level you are in, you have a lot of work, a lot of responsibilities, especially at in your workplace. So I'm sure you must have felt overwhelmed and anxious. So what 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 works in these kind of scenario? What should we do when we feel all these emotions?
There is one aspect that how do you respond to these situations, but then there is another aspect wherein what is the work that you're putting in beforehand, so that you have the right set of skills when things come. And for that, first of all, I feel that we have to have a physically healthy body. So I think kids of these generation should also focus, us anyways. I think people of our generation have already started realizing the
Yeah.
importance of that, and they are putting in effort. I think the Gen Z also should focus on having that physical health in mind.
Mm.
Then comes mindfulness, which is something that we need to keep practicing. Like, of course, yeah, this is the emotion that is coming right now, but let it pass, let it acknowledge it and let it pass through you. Then third thing is, like, you have to so before going into a meeting, before getting into any discussion, put in a lot of work. I think that put in a lot of preparation, and think
Mm.
about all the different scenarios. I think that makes a lot of difference in how you deal with anxiety, because anxiety is often a byproduct of what is the scenario that can come up where which you might not be able to deal with, right? So
True.
if you have put in enough work and preparation, you will find a way. So
Mm.
I think, yeah, these are the work that we need to put in the background, so that when that uh,
Scenario comes.
feeling comes, it's not a knee-jerk reaction, but rather something that we are doing mindful.
So what kind of message would you give to women who are trying to be successful in their career?
So to be successful in your career, I mean, I do not consider myself that successful right now. I have still a long way to go, but I feel I'm on the right path. And yeah, for that, what I feel is, do a lot of hard work, smart work, and a lot of sincerity into the thing, sincerity and passion into whatever you are doing. Of course, you cannot have it all, just like I mentioned
Yeah.
sometime earlier. But when you are in your workspace, be there, like, completely. And of course, when you are with your kid or with the family, carve out some time. That is very important. Carve out some time for that, for your social life. And when you are there, be 100% guilt free and
Yeah.
enjoy that moment. But when you're back in the workspace, be there completely. So yeah, I think we cannot have it all, but yeah, we can work towards maximum actualization of our goals in both professional and personal space.
Great, great. Thank you, Aishwarya. Thank you so much for being in the show. I have learned a lot from this, and I think a lot of women have been inspired and encouraged, and have been advised in the right manner. You've given such amazing, brilliant points to take home. So amazing, Aishwarya. And those women who want to are looking for some mentorship, want to do great in their career. So Aishwarya is a great person to reach out to. You can DM her on LinkedIn for mentorship. And this is the end of Dilse Talk CM episode 4. I hope you like the video, and if you like the video and if you want me to continue this work, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.